it seems that we've gone to the well so many times about this particular topic. It is no content books and low content books and publishing them. But due to a recent viewer request by our good friend Kevin McGuire, he actually brought up a good point. Hey, what is going to be the better of the two? KDP Print versus CreateSpace. We're going to learn about all that today and more, so
stay tuned.
Welcome to Self-Publishing with Dale.
And Kelly.
And if you want to publish your books,
build your brand,
make sure that you subscribe and turn your notifications on to get all of our latest content. Today's live broadcast is brought to you in part by...
Do you want to learn how to publish no-content books on CreateSpace? Well, start publishing today and grab the no-content book publishing course at selfpublishingwithdale.com/no-content.
Are you always strapped for cash? Would you like to make a little extra money on the side as a writer? Join us live next Thursday, July 5th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about how to make money as a writer online. Isn't that slick, huh?
It's
commercials,
so
baby. Yeah, we're like upgrading. We're gonna be actually next week is gonna be our last time we're in this studio. So you guys are gonna have to say goodbye to the normal setup. We're gonna be upgrading. We're moving on up to the...
We don't know what it's going to look like.
Yeah, so it's
we don't know.
Yeah, it's a complete surprise for you guys and for us. So that actually will be happening in about a couple weeks.
We know what the apartment will look like, but we don't know where we're going to put our studio. It might be in the hallway.
Well, on the rooftop. How about that? Let's just do it on the rooftop. Screw it, you know?
That'd be so much fun to do a live from the rooftop.
Yeah, so in any event, who all's inside the chat today, baby? Let's see who's there, because I see Ava Fails, assistant extraordinaire. Rose is in the house. Kelly Publish, you're here too. I see you commented.
I'm
Mojo,
here.
It's good to see you. Monique jumping on in here. Let's see here. K Wheeler Books, Keith Wheeler, my boy. If you guys haven't checked out his channel yet, make sure you do yourself a favor. Head on over to K Wheeler Books and check it out. You can actually go to my quick link of selfpublishingwithdale.com/Keith to go check out Keith's channel and hit that subscribe on there. You're going to love some of his great solutions to publishing books. So,
Marco just popped in.
Great. Marco Motino. He's my boy, man.
Rose.
I'm telling you. Yes. Oh, my goodness. Who just came in?
Rodo.
Yeah, Rodo. So, Scotty G, it's good to see you here.
Crypto Merch Club.
Man.
Hey, what's up? Where are you guys from? Ohio. I don't know why I said it.
Christy at Archangel Lake, it's good to see you in here. I see KL22642. I'm like, who is this? I should probably just read it, shouldn't I?
Nafis, Corey Burns, John Wasser, lots of awesome friends are stopping by.
Great to see everybody in here. Do us all a favor, man. Let's make this a party. Invite people in here because today we're going to give you some content that's going to send your eyebrows and leave you all fired up for the rest of the night. So forget about it. Load up on some caffeine. Get all hyped up. Are you hyped? Huh? Yeah, she ain't gonna be yawning today because, guys, we are gonna be talking about her favorite topic. What is that, Kelly?
No content books.
Oh, yes. And
we have a couple people from Vegas.
So, a couple people from Vegas. Goodness gracious. Vegas is in the house. So, which, by the way, we have pretty much a trip to Vegas here soon enough here. But we'll talk about that in the after party. But we got to see how many people here before we do an after party on Twitch?
40
people. And we'll order some pizza. We'll talk about Ask Me Anything, all that kind of stuff at twitch.tv/selfpublish. Guys, gals, let's get right into things because otherwise we're going to run late on this puppy dog here because we're going to talk about no content, book publishing, CreateSpace versus Kindle Direct Publishing. Yeah, we could probably jump through things and tell you guys, oh, here it is. You know, this one's better than that one. But we got to first recap what are no content books. Kelly, without looking at the cheat sheet, tell them what no content books are.
It's a book that doesn't have the traditional writing.
Yeah.
It might have a few sentences, but think of, no novels, just the opposite, lines, sketchbooks, anything like logbooks.
Yep. Art sketchbooks.
Even coloring books. So the sky's the limit and there's so many different possibilities.
And these are high demand products, folks. Yes, it's traditionally written books. You can buy it once.
Yeah.
Like, I can't think of any time that I've purchased a book multiple times unless I gave it out as a gift to somebody or something like that, and I really, really like it, which it's been rare. But, you know, with these type of books, you know, it's like toilet paper. You're always going to need it. You know, you're going to have to get some new ones, which, by the way, hopefully you're getting, you know, your toilet paper replenished, whatever neck of the woods that you're in. But you get the idea that, you know, you can sell multiples of this particular book. And there's been numerous times, I believe, that you've sold, for me, I had like 20, 60, 80 at a time sold.
I've had mass orders. I assume it's from the same person.
Right. Because it just comes in one lump.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously some of my titles sell over and over. I don't know if they're repeat customers because Amazon doesn't share that, but...
Darn you.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, so that's really why we want to kind of tell you, yeah, it's unorthodox, but it is legit, folks. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of publishing no content books on each platform? I want to give a big shout out. I believe it was Kevin McGuire that actually brought this up.
That's
Kevin,
what you said.
Yes, over in the Ukraine, my boy Kevin, you got yourself a free month of extra video membership over on the site at selfpublishingwithdale.com/extra for bringing up this topic, because you said, okay, we've got these two options. Which one is going to be better of the two? So we're going to weigh in on some of the pros and cons of each one of these things. And yeah, some of it's a little bit of a remix and a little bit of a rehash of some of the things that we're kind of talking about, but we're going to talk specifically on no content books and not necessarily the other books, the, you know, traditionally written ones. So we're going to kind of take our normal writer's hats, we're going to kind of put them off to the side for right now, and let's focus on the specific model of just no content books. Sound good to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. So, in any event, Kelly, what are the pros of publishing CreateSpace? Because I know that this is your jam. This is the place that you love.
This is my jam. It is a simple process, you know, just like with anything, you got to learn it first. But once you learn it, it's pretty self-explanatory, and, you know, the process is what it is.
Yeah, you become more efficient as time goes on. As with anything, you know, it's kind of muscle memory, if you will. And you're going to find certain systems and processes and ways to optimize your business that you'll be able to kind of crank things out. Now, we're not telling you just to put out any old drivel, but, you know, you're going to find that there are some winning formulas in the way that you produce these types of books. So go ahead.
It's been around for a while. The customer service is top notch.
Oh yeah.
I prefer the email. Just email info@createspace.com. They says it goes directly to who it needs to go to,
It's
or
their tech
directly.
team.
But I've never tested, you know, sending emails the same exact time. We're just going off their word.
Yeah, you can use the email support through their dashboard, but this little hack that I'm sharing with you guys here is a secret. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody off this here. But info2@createspace.com. I was actually told by a phone support one time, because I was calling up to add some categories to some books, and it wasn't no content books at that particular time. And they were like, you know, it'd probably save you a lot of trouble and a lot of time. Just email all that stuff to info2@createspace.com. Goes right to their tech team. I was like, nice.
I think they just want to get you off the phone.
Yeah, they probably do. They're like, oh, here comes this friggin' loudmouth. So tell me a little bit about the whole subtitling thing, Kelly.
To make it simple, the subtitle that you enter does not have to appear on the cover.
Okay, cool. So that's something we can't get away with on KDP Print.
Oh, no.
I don't think we even mentioned that on the cons for KDP Print, so you're welcome. We give you guys a little bit of a spoiler there. And of course,
it has expanded distribution. You know, there's several options for expanded. I know the one I take advantage of most of the time is having it like on Barnes and Noble, potentially Walmart, stuff like that. You could also get it available for wholesalers to distribute. You might see on your listing, people call them hijackers, but other people will be attached to your listing like within 2 seconds of you publishing it. It's usually the wholesalers, but you still get money from that sale. So don't worry about it.
I like money, however you make it, shake it, or bake it. If some reseller is going to go out there and sell my book for me and try to really put some gas behind it, whatever. Go for it. Knock yourself out, man. One of my favorite features, and I think she can probably agree with this, is CreateSpace's payday. You can't beat that with the stick. Every 30 days. The 30-day payout is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, the only way you can beat it with a stick is there's only a couple other platforms I can think of that pay faster than that. So.
Right. So, look, guys, it's not all sunshine and roses in the land of CreateSpace, and we got to tell you about the cons.
Is it an impending disaster? Will KDP Print take over? There are so many freaking assumptions going online, and I even had to crack down on one of my Facebook groups today.
Yeah.
Why, I'm like, they haven't told us for sure. You can only make educated assumptions at this point.
Everything's speculative. It was funny, we actually went to the Dayton Book Expo, and one of the audience members had stood up and was like, is CreateSpace out of business? And I was like, that's insane.
I
just got
immediately
paid
checked
by
my
them.
phone, and I was like,
and the panel that was up there, we're like, I'm not sure about that. And I just felt like standing up and like, no, that's not true. CreateSpace is very much alive and well, but CreateSpace is owned by Amazon, and Amazon's starting to pivot towards the direction of KDP Print. Will they take over? We don't know. But here's the deal, though, folks. I was even on it earlier today, messing around. Clunky. My goodness. CreateSpace. Come on, man. You've been around for longer than a cup of coffee. Why you got to be clunky like that? Come on, let's get with the program. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what servers and HTMLs and CSSs and all that other nerd lingo stuff. Get your stuff straight. We bring you enough money that your site should probably not be clunky after all this time.
Another clunkiness is Cover Creator. I would say, depending on how it's feeling that day, I want to say 2 out of 10 screw up. Sometimes I'll get lucky and 2 out of 15. But there is that error. You have to go back and either fix something small or just enter it again. Compared to KDP, there's not a lot of room for keywords. It's 5 up to 25 characters as opposed to what we'll talk about in KDP in a second. The HTML is limited.
Oh, very much. Which the HTML is in regards to how you can make your description look on the Amazon platform, and it's super limited. And as some of you probably know and have used the HTML book description generator over on my website, there's one for KDP, which is fully supported, most HTML, and then you got CreateSpace, where it's just a couple of things. Not too happy with
and
that.
Customer support, if you ever have questions for HTML, won't answer your question.
Yeah, they won't.
I don't think this is a con. I know Dale disagrees with me. Upon initial publication, one initial category choice. And don't make faces at me.
Was I making faces, folks? Listen, you guys got my back. I know you do. So how about let's talk about KDP Print? Because, boy, there are some really cool things about KDP Print.
You can have more keywords. There are 7 slots up to 50 characters each on KDP Print.
Yeah.
There's AMS ads available.
Right. And really, my boy Marco Motino's inside the house here, and he actually shared just a little bit of the 411 not too long ago about running Amazon Marketing Service ads for your print books through KDP. So I'd highly recommend, if you have something, like a no content book or any kind of other book, AMS is available now through KDP Print. It's a little bit harder to promote your CreateSpace books natively on the Amazon platform unless you're a vendor or seller of some sort.
You have a wider distribution on the Amazon platform. Yeah. I know you told me the 2 countries, Mexico and something.
Right, they are lacking support in Amazon Mexico and Amazon Canada right now, but they plan to expand in that area. But you're spoiling our cons already.
Well, it says wider distribution on the Amazon platform.
Correct. Yeah, it has other areas beyond that CreateSpace is not able to reach.
Oh, okay.
So.
There are actually more options than Cover Creator on KDP Print. If you go in and
Cover
play,
Creator.
They actually do.
And for no content books, guys, I'm gonna tell you, you can get real fancy if you'd like, but there have been some. I'm telling you that the Cover Creator was more than sufficient. This is one of those times that I'm saying use Cover Creator, but get real. You're gonna have to be. You're going to have a little bit of ingenuity and some imagination to use that tool to really stand out above the noise, because otherwise you're just going to look like every other no-content book that's being published.
Yeah, there are more options to add your own flair to it. And it's a single-layer approval system, which is beneficial because you don't have to get an email from them and click a link and approve it again. Once you go through the entire process and hit submit, KDP does their process, and if they say yay, it's going to be live. So I think it's a pro because it saves you time, and if you don't have access to your email when it's available, you don't have to wait.
Yeah. So, hey, look, we already said the cons about CreateSpace. it ain't pretty over in KDP Print, let me tell you. And they got a lot of work to do, but in their defense, they are still beta. So let's talk about KDP Print, the cons.
It is clunky as F-U-N-K.
Yes, so clunky as funk. Funk. We got to make sure we enunciate that.
I was uploading a title today, and this is a really bad example, but literally I started uploading the book. He went to the gym for like a 20 to 30 minute workout.
30 minutes, yeah.
The gym is 5 minutes away each way, and when he came back, it was still uploading, and it took probably a good 10 minutes after that. I've had some go really fast, but that was bad today. Now, KDP Print is still in beta generally, but the proof ordering system is a bit weird since it's still in beta.
Yeah, for sure.
I haven't experienced that. I probably should and make like a video about it. It'll come.
Yeah, it's just, the proof ordering isn't as smooth as what you're going to get over on CreateSpace. You actually have to have it published before you can actually order the proof. I imagine they're going to have that ironed out in due time, but that kind of bears one question that we got in mind. One of the things that we kind of said was a pro as the single layer approval system. Will it be gone? I mean, are they going to kind of go the way of CreateSpace, whereas the double layer approval system eventually?
Who knows?
So to me, I don't mind the double layer approval system because by the time I pull the trigger, everything's ready to rock and roll. So this was a kind of an interesting one you told me about. They are way more strict on titling, subtitling, and author names. Can you speak on that for me?
Well, all of my titles have went through. They are just very picky about whatever you enter isn't supposed to be a keyword for the system. So, and also the subtitle has to be on the cover. I've gotten away with the subtitle being on the back cover, and they approved it just fine. But like, again, it's still in beta, and they change their rules from time to time. But also the author names, it does say in their TOS, Terms of Service, you aren't supposed to use keywords in the author name.
Correct.
So
that goes for everything, regardless no content or not. So I wouldn't try playing with that system. It's going to lead to heartache. So this was another one that you brought to my attention, which was there's no custom sizing as what you get in CreateSpace. What exactly do you mean by custom sizing?
It's something I actually just learned. If you choose a size on CreateSpace and go to the second page, it gives you an option to enter in whatever size you want. There are limitations like a minimum and maximum, but KDP doesn't offer that. I don't know the situations. Well, I do know a few situations, I guess, where you would need it, but for the most part, that's a cool feature that CreateSpace has, and KDP doesn't.
Yeah, so here's the big deal too, is that we have already said this, still lacking expanded distribution, Amazon Mexico and Amazon Canada, though it's indicated as in the works. So it's a little bit like I said, it's beta. We got to kind of give them the benefit of the doubt. And for a lot of you out there, expanded distribution may not pull you very much money anyways. So if for some reason you're not drawing very much money, as we'd mentioned in the one about CreateSpace, the video, I said you're not drawing very much in expanded distribution. My recommendation is give KDP Print a second look, because you're going to get wider distribution throughout the Amazon platform, and you can always just go expanded distribution through other distributors like an Ingram Spark or like a Lulu, so on and so forth. And here's the biggie. I hate waiting 60 days for my payout. Come on. Give me my payout.
I mean, once you get going in the business, you really don't, it doesn't really matter in my opinion, but for newbies who are just starting out, it kind of stinks for you have to wait 2 months to see your rewards. It really does.
Yes. Kind of going back to our boy Kevin, his wife's like, when's your paycheck coming? And, he's like, it's coming, I assure you. She's like, when's it coming? It can be really, and if you really need to kind of cover rent and expenses and things like that, 60 days makes a huge difference. So the 30-day payout, that's why I love myself some CreateSpace. So here's what I want from you guys and gals, those of you that are in the live chat and those of you that are watching this on the replay. I want to hear your thoughts on the battle between CreateSpace versus Kindle Direct Publishing for no content books specifically. Do you prefer the old print-on-demand platform, or do you lean more in favor of KDP Print? I want you to drop your thoughts in the comments, and please be as candid as you like on this one. Please watch any kind of expletives. We're trying to keep this family friendly, but I want to hear what you think. But before we jump over here to address any kind of questions, concerns, and comments inside the chat, I want to say one more time. Today's live broadcast is brought to you in part by...
Do you want to learn how to publish no-content books on CreateSpace? Well, start publishing today and grab the no-content book publishing course at selfpublishingwithdale.com/no-content.
Are you always strapped for cash? Would you like to make a little extra money on the side as a writer? Join us live next Thursday, July 5th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about how to make money as a writer online. Alrighty, so man, isn't that commercial thing neat? Huh?
Yeah.
Kelly made her debut as a voiceover talent. So I definitely want to jump over here into the chat. I've seen some other people jumping in. I saw out of the corner of my eye, by the way, we can see you guys talking. Sometimes we just don't want to slow down because we want to kind of blaze through this stuff. We have time to talk to each and every one of you here inside the chat. So I seen somebody from Dallas, Texas in the house. So good to see Texas. That's one of our favorite towns. We enjoy going over to Dallas. It's been forever and a day. Manny's Art and Fitness Channel. So Manny, thank you very much. Big shout out to you. Florida, oh my goodness. Debbie, good to see Debbie Weeder here. Those pros look amazing. Yes, for sure. Richard B, it's great to see you. So what kind of questions, concerns, comments do we have so far, Kelly?
Debbie and Jan wanted my interview from earlier, and I dropped the link for it. It's also going to be on a podcast. It's not ready yet, so I can always put it in the self-publishing books group once it's ready if you always prefer podcasts.
Yes, please join us over at the Facebook group. That's at facebook.com/group/self-publishing books, or you just go to Facebook and type in the search self-publishing books. You'll be able to see my pretty mug. Jump on in there, please. There's one question out of the 3 questions I just asked is, answer all 3 of them if you could, but one of them is the one I'm looking for the right answer. You don't have to be subscribed to my channel to jump to the group, so there's a little bit of a spoiler alert.
Let's see. Crypto Merch Club, are there any bulk uploading software programs for uploading more faster to CreateSpace?
Ooh, you've got a little bit of 411 going down, don't you?
I was supposed to talk to a developer today about a potential service, so I'll keep you all updated. The only thing that saves me time right now is the Chrome autofill, and I use that for the author name. I have tried that for the title. I haven't gotten it to work, so maybe also Google some autofill extensions and maybe that'll work. But once I hear from the developer and more information, I'll let y'all know.
I see that Dana Sanders had mentioned, I do want to be able to run AMS ads, but 60 days? Yeah, 60-day payout for KDP. It's a little bit of they're willing to take your AMS money, but they're like, yeah, we're going to take our time giving you your payout. So I can't give anything in defense of that. I really believe that they need to tighten up that little system there. And I think it has a lot to do with the global profits that they're bringing in. It's not necessarily the .com area, it's outside of there. So they end up bringing all that in. But that's stuff that I'd have to go in and look in FAQs and things like that.
Let's see. A lot of people are preferring CreateSpace, and it seems like the only way people prefer KDP Print is because of the advertising. Charles Onudo, what is a no-content book? In short, because we answered at the beginning, no writing. A book that you don't have to do a lot of writing for.
Right. Once when we're finished, you can always just rewind. We actually give it thorough and in-depth.
Sorry, Ava, I just saw that you answered that. Thank you for doing that. Scott E.G., is it best to have all books under the same author or to have different authors for different niches? Both.
Absolutely, yes.
I have some pen names that have several niches, and I have some pen names that are just for one. The only thing I will not do is have one pen name with 2 niches that would not want to see each other. Right. For example, an adult humor type journal under the same pen name as a journal for kids, because you never know if someone's, people search online all the time, but you never know if they're going to click on that author name and find something that they shouldn't see.
Right, that's a really good point. To kind of add to that, you can always have something as simple as I don't know, like a Bible study journal of some sort. You don't want to have the same thing put together for like my favorite potty humor jokes or something like that. You don't want to mix one over the other, or my satanic scripture type thing. That's not a good idea. Don't, it may seem funny to you in your head, but don't mix those up because it's just a recipe for disaster.
Michael Kraus, I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, just bought my course. Thank you so much, and let us know if you have any questions. Get in the self-publishing books group and ask anything you want in there.
Yes, please. Yes, everybody, please join the party over there. We're going to be doing a lot of things in self-publishing books here pretty soon.
Rose, is expanded distribution really good? Because the minimum price is too high, so I do not do expanded distribution for that reason. Define really good. I mean, it's some extra money that takes a few clicks. So I see the majority of my expanded distribution in Q4, specifically December. Even then, I don't click on all three because I'm like, I really don't have a good reason. I only click on one, which gets my books into like Barnes and Noble. But I know you have a different answer on that.
For me, expanded distribution treats me rather well. In fact, actually, at the last couple days of the month, I typically see a massive dump from all of the different avenues. So it's not a conspiracy theory here, folks. Literally, expanded distribution starts to drop into your account at the end of the month. I used to think when I first started in the business, a handful of years ago, I would see it dump in there, and it'd always be about the time that I was changing my pricing. And I was like, hey, I got on there and I started trolling CreateSpace. I was like, you guys are working the system, give it to me at my higher price. And they're like, no. Calm down, first of all, okay? We fulfill all those things at the end of the month. In rare occasions, you'll see expanded distribution come into your CreateSpace dashboard. Maybe one of these times we'll peek in behind like a dashboard and show you what we mean.
I will say it is a benefit because the sales from expanded distribution are 30 days behind. So say during December when sales are amazing, you'll see a little bit of that trickle effect come January from your expanded distribution. So that's kind of cool too.
Just to kind of clarify, I think yours is probably not near as good as mine is. My expanded distribution, I see about 10 to 20%. Now, bear in mind, I'm saying 10 to 20% of my overall sales within CreateSpace. So that's including like my fitness books. I see quite a bit of fitness books purchases. So this is not speaking in regards to no content books in general. Okay, I'm saying everything. So keep that in mind if that's the strategy you want to go with the no content books and thinking to yourself, should I do expanded distribution? To me, you're gonna have to raise your minimum price, but I'll tell you that I've sold some low content, no content books at a pretty good penny, and especially around Q4, people are willing to part ways with their money at a higher premium. And even if you go through expanded distribution, you'll be rewarded handsomely. Just let me know how you kind of do on that one, and if anybody disagrees, please, by all means, let's hear from you.
Christy from Archangel Inc., when you watch the replay, thank you for stopping by. John Wasser, I bet that their answer is that they're holding it for any possible returns. I don't know if you mean KDP.
Right, I think he probably is referring to that.
Okay. Do you see equivalent sales on KDP versus CreateSpace? For me, it's roughly the same percentage. I have roughly 4,600 or 4,700 on CreateSpace and roughly, I think I have like 400 or 500 on KDP. And when I average it out, how many titles sell versus how many listed, it's like the same percentage. So obviously the dollar amount's higher on CreateSpace, but the sell-through rate is very similar. What about you?
It's going to vary. It's going to vary. Yeah. So I noticed Mountain Living Life Loving Mama. Wow, that's a mouthful. So we're just going to stick with Mountain Living.
I missed that question.
Life Loving
Sorry.
Mama. Mama, is there a template for interior pages, or do you have to create them yourself? What program works well? Well, it just so happens just about any type of program. In fact, actually, I'm putting together my own no content course, and I'm going to get you to kind of talk about yours in just a second. Mine's going to be releasing sometimes here in July, but you can use, I'll show how to do it through PowerPoint. You can do it through Microsoft Word. You can do it through Mac Keynote. You can do it through Google Slides. You can do it for just about anything. Now, as far as, interior templates go, I'm going to just say this, and I know she may disagree, and I'm going to allow her to speak in just a moment here. There's templates. There are people that will offer templates and such like that. And I'm going to stress a word of caution. If you purchase templates from somebody, okay, it's been created by somebody else, okay? If you do get templates, make them uniquely yours. Make something different within that interior template, because otherwise you're going to get flagged by the content validation team over at CreateSpace, and I don't know if KDP does it to a certain extent. So be careful if you do buy interior templates. Now, Kelly, you have your talk about your course as well.
We actually agree on the templates thing. I have a course. I do talk about how to make a template. I only talk about Keynote, and I relate it. I'm like, because that's the PC version's PowerPoint. So I think you could probably figure it out if you have a PC. I just go through step by step of a blank line journal. I also have my own template that I have available for free or donation. If you have idea, you just want to get started and you don't want to worry about a template at this time, because I know it can be kind of overwhelming. But I do also stress, I provide an editable template. So I stress so highly, don't keep it as is. Add a few pages, delete a few pages, make it something unique, or you're going to get a lot of emails and not a happy experience.
Right, yeah. Did we cover already DC equivalent sales on KDP versus CreateSpace?
Yes.
Okay, we covered that.
Crypto Merch Group. The Facebook group is self-publishing books.
Yes, please join. Please answer the questions. It just kind of shows me that you're not a bot and not a virtual assistant just trying to come in there and link drop your books. Oops, did I just spoil which question you should answer?
Dana Sanders has $50 in expanded royalties in the first month. That's amazing.
Guy, kudos.
That's high. That's really good.
I was getting ready to say the F word. I'm trying to keep it family friendly here, folks, but that's really awesome. I'm pumped whenever I hear people having great successes, and please don't hold back. If you're having successes within your business, share it. Come on, preach it out to the world. Tell people. And if for some reason you link drop your book that's on Amazon in here and you're watching the replay and it gets flagged or whatnot, I'll process it through. Just Amazon only links here, folks. I want to make sure we're not sending people to some weird channel or something.
I just started self-publishing. I mainly write study guides for healthcare students. Which of your courses would be appropriate to start with? My course isn't writing. Right.
So hers is more specifically just about no content books. So Rex Griffith, author, I would recommend that you take a look at the DIY publishing course. You can go to DIYpublishing.biz. I'm going to be increasing the price. If you drop me an email, actually, I've got a coupon code, I believe, for 50% off. Sorry, I don't remember it off the top of my head. Here we are live, guys. But hit me up at Dale@sellpublishingwithdale.com, and I'll hook you up with a coupon code. Here pretty soon, I'm going to be closing down access to the DIY publishing course, and it's going to be closed indefinitely. I'll say that.
Are you putting the same different titles on both platforms? You cannot put the same exact title on both platforms. I use similar interiors on both platforms, but I make the cover different.
Right. Be careful. You're going to, once again, you'll get flagged for the content validation team if you use the same title within the same account. So try to find some way to differentiate it, being a different cover, a different interior, maybe even a series name or an edition number of some sort. You always want to make sure that you're not putting up the same thing over and over, because otherwise they're going to go, hey, wait, hang on a second. You've got 50 versions of Traveling in Alaska. You're trying to work us here, aren't you? So just be very careful on that, folks.
I have 4,600 books live on Rose. He or she. How many no content books? Sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean to do that. How many no content books do you guys have live on CreateSpace? I have roughly 4,600 to 4,700.
Somewhere over a few grand for me. I stopped uploading that probably about Q4 last year. So might be less than a few grand, excuse me.
Robert Johnson, I've been pretty conflicted. KDP better than CreateSpace, or should I do both? Yes, I do both. Diversify because of the pay scale.
Yeah, for sure.
Or the pay differences.
And we were just talking about CreateSpace and KDP. Keep in mind, there are other print-on-demand distributors out there that you can probably look into. So you may want to kind of look into other options. This is not something we've gone too far down into. There's Lulu. They are print-on-demand. There's even Barnes & Noble Press. They used to call it Nook Press, but now it's just Press. And they actually have a few different iterations you can make of your book. Now, remember that with Barnes & Noble, it'll just be on Barnes & Noble. But, think about other print-on-demand distributors and try them out. Actually, I think Tableau more recently. Big shout out to Tableau. That's Tablo.io. If you head on over to their site, they also have other distribution you can kind of look into as well. I don't know if they'll do no content, so.
Let's see. KB loves karma. I've been doing no content books for about 4 weeks now, and I've earned over $100, which is amazing. But I have trouble finding niches. How do you come up with niche ideas? Keep it simple. What are you doing to make $100 and do more of that?
Absolutely. Find the winning title that's doing it and double down on it. You got to find different iterations. You're just going to have to probably start using your imagination. I know one of the ways that I do it is I'll just open incognito mode and go onto Google. And literally I'll just type in whatever that might be and I'll search it on up and I'll see different ideas. You can even get great ideas. Here's a little bit of a ninja tactic for you guys. You can go in and get good ideas through Google Images. Now don't take the images, just get it to where it's juicing the creative wheels.
That's pretty much all for the questions. Rest are just comments.
Awesome.
We have the highest number of viewers right now.
That's amazing. I'm really glad to see this. So we're going to keep answering questions. Drop them in here. We'll stop answering questions. We'll stop the air as soon as you guys stop giving us questions. So what's the royalty differences between the platforms? It's kind of hairy. It's a little different. You're going to be able to speak on it better than I will, won't you?
It's not much of it. If you publish a 100-page book on CreateSpace and a 100-page book on KDP Print, the difference is not going to be significant.
It's negligible.
I know it's the same dollar number. I know it's like $2.04, I think, on CreateSpace. It's like $2 and something. Under $2.50 on KDP Print for sure.
Yeah, they give you like this real ambiguous like formula that they have. It's like 60% is what they'll tell you of each one of the titles, but I mean, it's based on how much it costs to put the book together, how many pages, distribution, their extra little fees, and then you go ahead and collect it. The crazy thing is if you raise the price of your book, and this goes across the board, no content or not, you raise the price of your book, obviously the percentage and how much you're going to collect is going to be far greater. This is one of the things I will run ads, AMS ads differently for certain books that are higher priced than I will for the lower price ones. So I'll look at the ACOS of one and say, okay, I got to kill this right at about 35%. And another one, I'll look at that and go, I got to kill it right about 50%. So you're just going to have to kind of play around with some of the pricing on, the trim size that you have as well as the number of pages. Actually, trim size isn't so important as it is the number of pages.
I'm finding a link, so go to the next question.
Kelly, do you use any AMS ads or are your sales organic? This is where the Roberts household has a complete divide when it comes to marketing and promotion. I'm big on using AMS ads. I really love it. But Kelly, organic or not?
Organic. I hate ads.
She hates it. It drives her crazy. I don't know what drives you more crazy, running ads or email marketing?
Running ads.
Yeah, so
I've learned to love email marketing over the past week and a half. My thought is it's like playing the lottery with ads, and it's not something I enjoy. I would rather spend more time figuring out what people will buy and being creative as opposed to being technical and detailed and trying to figure out which ad sells.
Yeah.
That's my...
Marco, we got to get with her here. Show her how simple this is. So, also, let's see here. Life Loving Mama back here to ask us, where can I find the free basic template you mentioned, Kelly?
That's what I'm getting right now.
She's looking it up. You can go ahead and take a look inside the chat. I think, don't you just have like a vendor profile over at Gumroad? People can probably take a look at all your products.
I don't know how to get to the link. I don't know if I've even made a profile.
Wow. What's the best-selling trim size and interior? Wide rule, college ruled. Let me go ahead and answer for me. I've found that my most successful sold books are typically 6x9. 6x9 does really, really well. 6x9 is as big as Terry Bryant's book is above my head here. So that's about a 6x9. Then you've got 8.5 by 11. That's about this big. By the way, this is not one of my books. This is one of our viewers' books. Thanks, Todd. Appreciate it. But that's an 8.5 by 11. I actually get some pretty good sales for this one. Not that book. Yeah, for that size of book. And as far as page count, I think you might have said something, the interior. I generally speaking, I just think about what my end product's going to be, who my end user is going to be, and I typically work from there. But I always kind of weigh in, okay, remember any numbers, any pages beyond 108 pages on CreateSpace, and I think this is true for KDP as well, you're taxed about 1 to 2 cents. That means that they're going to be taking from your bottom line for every page beyond that point. So you have to start to think to yourself, okay, 1 to 2 cents per each one of these pages, that means you're going to have to move your cost up. You're going to have to increase, you're going to have to send that amount over to your customer, and you're going to have to saddle them with that burden. So you got to kind of think about that when you go beyond 108 pages. I've had some that have sold 90 pages, do really, really well. 30 pages, heck, I've had some that were like 365 pages. It's just kind of hard to tell. You got to kind of play around with it. What's your thought on trim size, interior?
About 90% of my trim sizes are 6x9, and it's just the reason I chose that is because when I first started, I think you're the one that made the 6x9 template, so I just started using it and changed it a little bit, and then it started selling, and so I was like, oh, if it's selling, I'm not going to change anything. So, and most of my interiors are anywhere from 100 to 120 pages, usually right in the middle of that, are most of them. What were the other questions?
Wide rule and college ruled. Let's make sure that we get something straight here. Not all of no content books is just journals, just writing in, it could be, blank type stuff. It could even be, like we've mentioned before, sheet music is like one of the great ways to kind of do no content books. There's so many ways you can shake it, make it, or bake it. Now, with that being said, I really don't measure out wide ruled or thin. I have some that are wide, and then like for instance, like here's a good one, haiku. Like if you have a haiku type book, why are you gonna need to have college ruled? So I would probably do a little bit thicker on those.
I don't overthink it. I just have lines. I know there's a certain template service out there I don't recommend that, says wide versus college, but don't overthink that stuff. No.
Unreal.
Let's see. Were you just going in order?
Yeah, actually, I was.
Do you use email marketing to sell no content books? No.
I don't. I probably should. I have numerous email lists I sit on, and I probably don't pitch out. Although I'll say that here pretty soon, I will be rolling out a series of things that actually will tie really closely into some of the content creation. You guys will stay tuned, and I'll probably start promoting and have them hanging up in the background. But
yeah, I really only started email lists.
Thanks for the sub.
With this course, and an influencer has been like pushing me to do email stuff. So before this course, it was my worst enemy.
Is it a good idea to mix the interiors? Absolutely. Absolutely. Play around with it. Here, let me give you a good example. We just already mentioned sheet music. One of the things that I was doing was I was doing lyric books and I was doing sheet music, blank sheet music. And then I thought, wait, hang on a second. What if there was somebody that was a singer that wanted to sit down and write out their lyrics and do it that way? Heck, mix and match niches. The more unique you can make your content, the more niche down that you can kind of make it, possibly the better you can to break it in. I mean, speak on that.
I don't mix it because it takes so much work.
But, and you do a lot of niche mixing though, too.
Oh, as far as like the covers, like dogs and coffee, I'll make a dog coffee journal.
Correct. So, she's going to speak out from an exterior standpoint, but, I believe that if you can kind of make a marriage of the two items, you're going to find some great success. So think outside the box. Think about what's going to establish you as the dominant force in what you're going to be doing, because you can just pump out the same old tired journal and hope for the best. But if you can really be unique and stand out above the rest and use, for instance, like this suggestion, use email marketing to sell some of your no content books, that right there, gold.
Yeah, I mean, I do understand, anytime you have a brand and can control a brand, it's better. I just like creating stuff, so that's how it all started. Marco, who you said has an amazing AMS course, promises that ads are not too difficult.
Yeah.
I understand. They just bore me. Dave Kadoff actually has a really awesome question. When you say 100 pages, does that translate to 50 sheets? Yes, it does.
Correct. Front and back is what we're referring to.
Yeah. I'm a fiction writer. What should I price my new release books when setting prices? You can have that one.
Robert, this is going to really vary. As a newbie fiction author, I would recommend your ebook pricing probably right around the 99-cent point to kind of launch it up into the bestsellers lists. But Kevin McGuire, as we kind of name dropped him before, he actually had it at 99 cents and he was killing it, like in the top thousands inside the Kindle store. And he was very scared with it being a short story of increasing the price. When he increased the price, he didn't notice any drop off. So he noticed an increase in his payday, and I'm sure he's pretty happy with it. Kevin, please feel free when you're talking about this in the replay, share a little bit of some of your success. But yeah, for your fiction book in paperback, it's going to be a little more problematic. I would really recommend that if you're going to do a paperback book for fiction, be prepared to do a lot of marketing and promotion for that. AMS ads is going to probably be a good starting point. I don't know how thick your book's going to be, so unfortunately I can't give you anything other than generic advice, and I'd hate to do that. But if you're a good fiction writer and it's a good novel of some sort, I'd be willing to pay 15 to 20 bucks for a good paperback book that will keep me intrigued and flipping from page to page. But you got to see the value in your particular type of content. So what is the sweet spot price for no content books, 100 pages, that's or 6x9? Man.
I just dropped a link to the CreateSpace royalty calculator if you wanted to mess around with, royalties. I don't know. Sometimes that might be helpful to people before processing.
You're going to want to peek at the particular niche that you're going to be publishing within, because there's going to probably be other no content books inside that space. And what I always try to tell people is try to honor the other people that are within your niche. Don't go in there and try to cut their throats. In other words, don't go in there and price your book at $3.99 when everybody else is pricing it at $14.99. If you're looking at a niche that has $14.99 per book and the audience is used to paying for that specific amount, try to, you can be competitive, something like $12.99 as opposed to $14.99, but when you start to do a race to the bottom so fast, you're going to ruin it for everybody. The bubble will pop, and eventually the audience is going to come to expect you to sell your books at $2.99 per pop, and you're only making about 5 or 6 cents. So
I price my sweet spot is $6.99, but I do agree, don't ruin it for everybody else. And then go for there. I was going to say something else, but I freaking forget. Oh, just a short story. It might have been because it's December, but I had a book that was selling at $6.99 and selling really well. I think the rank was under 100,000 in the store. And then someone else came out with a journal that had the same exact saying on it, slightly different font, not much of a difference. And they priced it either at $3.99 or $4.99, and I still outsold them. So,
wow, crazy.
Who knows why? Maybe because I had an established record. The price also, if it's too cheap, the customers might be like, I don't want something cheap.
Yeah. KB loves karma. Do either of you write fiction right now, or do you stick to just nonfiction only? I'm going to speak on Kelly's behalf. Kelly hates writing. She has written some fiction before, as well as I have. Have I written anything lately? Not really. Primarily, the writing that I've been doing is script writing for the videos, such like that. You guys can usually see the pre-tapes, and then those of you that actually are in the DIY publishing course, you'll know that I'm very strict as far as the script writing goes. So in any event, I will be breaking ground in fiction on this coming November, NaNoWriMo. It's something I hadn't shared with you. But former guest on the show, Martin McConnell, Martin actually issued a bit of a challenge to me. He said, hey, why don't you join my team here for the NaNoWriMo, and let's see if we can kind of bring awareness. I'm going to share a little bit more about that going further over into the fall season, and I'm going to try to rope you guys in along with me. I've been meaning for the longest time to write a fiction book. It's actually what I had always aspired to be when I was a writer, not a nonfiction writer. If you would have told me when I was 8 years old, you're going to write a book about, you're going to write numerous books about fitness, I'd have been like, I don't like exercising.
Now, I do not like writing a lot, but I was just thinking this morning, I should stop saying that because I'm going to translate my course into a book eventually.
Right.
But I like using voice to text.
Yeah, she does. And actually, you did one book actually that did
was
decently.
Voice to Text.
Was that the vegan one?
Vegan for beginners.
Yeah, and it did pretty well at the time.
I might not, stink like I think I do. It's just I'd rather be creating, something artistic. So.
Yeah. Do you use interior layout on the cover as a reference? I'm not sure I know what you mean, Nafis. Do you know?
Do you use interior layout on the cover like a template?
I mean, you could, if that's what using like the same image as your front cover. There are some people that will do that, and some people have been successful at that. I know that there is one person, I think Blank Comic Book Pages might be the name of the person who puts it out, but they literally put what's inside there. So.
Yeah. I mean, if that didn't answer your question, be more specific.
Yeah, I saw this person selling an 8.5 by 11 at $4.99. I think it was wrong because the royalty was like 84 cents. Yeah, exactly.
It's really tough because I might know who you're talking about, and some of these people are going for the quantity game. They'll price it at $4.99, and some of their covers are really cool. I mean, it's something that I would even buy. So it's kind of tough not to make that, make your blood boil on that one.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not fun.
Thank
you for the support. Sorry to interrupt. For getting my course. I appreciate it.
Yes, please, by all means, you guys go get that. And I'm gonna tell you, she's not keeping it up forever. It's pretty much the two of us like to do the stuff that we do. We're not course creators. That stuff is, we like to help out.
It'll be up for a long time.
Yeah, but
I don't have a date I'm taking it down like his, so it's just gonna stay up.
But I think you had one of them. You said you weren't gonna keep up for a while.
Oh, I'm coming out with It's not out yet, though. I'm coming out tomorrow with like it's unique. Y'all know, if you follow my YouTube, I keep it short and to the point. Well, I had several questions. Well, I want to see behind your screen and see what you do. So I filmed that, and it releases tomorrow. And I'm only allowing a limited number of people to buy it. I haven't decided the number. I know it's not going to be any more than 50 because I want to respect the people that buy it, for that process, and I also don't want to have old content out there. And this course is going to be one big video, probably an hour to an hour and a half long with timestamps. So it's not something I can go back and edit when the information's old.
Right,
so
right.
That's what I'm not keeping up forever.
How long did it take you to do 4,700 titles anyways?
How
many did you publish per day on average?
It varied because I published my very first no content book in January of 2016. I really didn't take it seriously until you started seeing more success in Q4 of 2016.
Yeah.
And even then I was inconsistent. It wasn't until I had 500 listed by December of 2016. And then it wasn't until September of 2017 I made a pact with my business partner or my business friends. We would only do one thing for a year. So all that said, it varies. Right now I'm not uploading since I did the course, but there were some months that I would upload 40 a day. So it just depends. I will say this one last thing on that question. Set a goal for yourself every day, and no matter what time it is, once you finish it, stop, because there are so many things you can do in this business and you'll drive yourself crazy and potentially burn out.
Yeah. You don't set out to be like, I'm going to do 500, in this week. Now, don't be crazy. Don't be that crazy person. I would just recommend start out with make yourself a promise. Like, everybody is watching this. You can probably do at least one per week. If you did one per week over the course of the year, you would have 52 titles in your back catalog. So just think about that. That's pretty crazy, right? You can have that many. So just doing one per week. So if you find that's unrealistic, maybe you've got 2 jobs, you're taking care of a family, like, Dale, I can't spare 5 minutes. All right, just give me one. Give me one per month. All right, that's 12 over the course. And 12 can make a huge difference. Even if you just have one heavy hitter out of that. I mean, you can have one that will pull in $200 to $1,000 per month. What would that make a difference in your life?
Yeah, consistency is more important than anything, for sure.
Absolutely. And here's the thing is you're going to make mistakes. So the more times that you do it, the more mistakes that you get out of the way now, the more successful you're going to be. Because I know that when you got that very first one, you were like, I think my CreateSpace account is broken. I'm like, look over, I was like, shut up.
Jan Marie Kelly, I want that. Been waiting. I don't know if you mean my video, but I'll make sure to hook you up.
Cool.
Yeah.
The Nafis actually was further, he kind of mentioned the stamp-sized images which resemble the interior. So does that help? Yeah, you can, I know some coloring books do that, to where they'll show the interior images that are included on it. Give it a shot. I can't give you a hard and fast rule on that one. I would say split test it. Try out one with it, try one without it, and see how it does. Or for that matter, just take one book, try the cover out for 90 days with the images, and then kill the images for 90 days and see what your results are going to be. That's probably the best way I can kind of suggest it. So, boy, we've had this is the longest stream we've had in a long time.
People are sticking around.
This is amazing. So those of you listening on the podcast are like, my goodness, this is not the normal half hour. We know you guys have been chomping at the bit to kind of talk about the no content books, and I don't know how likely it is that we're going to come back to the well on this. So
never say never.
Not going to say never, but we definitely want to make sure that everybody's kind of taken care of here. How are your merch by Amazon sales going? I've been doing merch for a couple months, and I've been finally up to 2 to 3 shirt sales per day on average. No content is easier though. Yeah, it's kind of hard to kind of measure between the two businesses since there's just two separate, vehicles. Can they be one as easy as the other? Absolutely. For me, my merch by Amazon sales are nothing to brag about. It brings me a little bit of extra pocket change. It probably pays for groceries for 1 week. It's, she could probably take care of a small family out in friggin',
Considering I've just been focusing on the course, and right now I just edit my listings, and it seems like my sales outside of Q4, my sales are the highest they've ever been right now. And I for 2 reasons, I think. One, I'm consistently editing something. So I really do think that tricks the algorithm into thinking, because Amazon wants you to be in the account. They want you to be working. Yeah, it can be semi-passive, but they want you in there. And 2, my prices are higher than ever. So that's been my sales. But congratulations on the sales. That's awesome.
Yeah. Kudos. 2 to 3 shirt sales per day is pretty awesome. Hopefully your price point's at a nice little area that can kind of reward you. How much will the course video be?
$27.
$27. There you go. Thank you so much. Great info. This is awesome. Hey, guys. Man, we're going about an hour long. I tell you what, we're probably not going to do an after party today because I think the both of us have a lot to kind of do.
I need a break, and I need to edit that video that will be out. It'll probably be out late tomorrow night. So, yeah.
All right. Well, hey, if you enjoyed today's content and you're still in here, there's over 30 of you guys in here, and those of you watching the replay, there's thousands of you. Hit that thumbs up, all right? And if you enjoyed this video so much, share it with somebody else that's into self-publishing too. In the meantime and in between time, it's been Self-Publishing with Dale
and Kelly.
And we'll see you next Thursday.